Hello everybody. Today is struggling to think here. I think the 16th of June, and it's early evening, as you can probably see by the light levels, and the rain has finally stopped. So I thought, whilst the ground is nice and wet, let me get digging. So I've dug over this little patch. Let's see, for shed, greenhouse, bed 1, overgrown, bed 2, bed 3. Okay, so that's where the lettuces, the pak choi that's all gone to seed. I've planted some Swiss chard over in that area there. I have sown some, let me think again, because I've got row markers here, but I don't, radishes by the red marker. 1 row of radishes. 1, 2, 3 rows of beetroot in here, and literally they've only been sown, literally I think 3 days ago, these ones, and that might be 3 or 4 days ago as well, in between rain showers. So sown those, marked them this end and that side with some sticks, and now this area here is where I'm going to plant out some of my salad seedlings from the greenhouse. So let's have a look and see what we've got. So these ones are replacement pak choys for over there. So I'm going to lift all of those ones that's gone to seed, and I'm going to replace it with these nice new fresh ones, and I am going to water them better this time, and hopefully they won't go to seed. I've got my Lolo Biondi. You can see how well my lettuce all the year round did, can't you? 0% germination all the way through. So yes, I think I might have to chuck that packet of seeds away. And then this one was Tom Thumb, lettuce Tom Thumb. So, and I think there's 2 per cell. Yes, 2 per cell, so I'll have to separate them out. So I'm going to get the lettuces in this area, and then I will show you when I'm all done. So let me just show you how I plant the first few, but I won't record the whole lot. So see you in a minute again. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Lolo Rossos. I think I sowed 2 seeds per cell, but obviously not all of them have come up. And if you see me chucking things, it's because I'm still building a path. So that little cell only had the 1, so that's 1, and I'm going to plant them about 8 inches apart. I think I planted them too far apart last year, so I had loads of space for weeds to come up. There's only 1 in this cell as well. Loads of weeds came up, so if I plant them closer, hopefully a bit more weed suppressant. And they were absolutely huge last year, so I think I need to pick them a little bit smaller this year. So this one's got 2. I'm just going to gently separate them. More stones. Okay, and then this one's also got 2. Last one. Okay, now I will have to protect these from slugs, so at the end I'll put some slug pellets down, and I'll also get some of my crushed up eggshells, and I will tell you the story about the eggshells again later. So on to the next row. So obviously I didn't say, well, I either didn't sow 2 seeds per cell, or literally 1 seed per cell germinated. Not quite sure. So only 4 of the Lollo Beyondies. On to the next one. Okay, so they're in. So there are 6 Lollo Rossos, and then there were only 4 Lollo Beyondies, and then there were 7, what were they called? Tom Thumbs. So I put 6 in this row, and then I left a space behind the Beyondie, and then put it right at the back so I can remember that they were separate. So that's the lettuces in, and what I'll do straight away is sow another tray full, so that once these are done, the next ones are just about ready to go in. So next, onto the pak choi. But first I'll have to clear that area, so let's go. Keep the label. And then what I'll do is I will put them to the side, because they can go in the compost. You wouldn't believe that I pulled out all of the stones that I found out of this area. Look, another rogue squash plant of some description, but it's coming out as well. I don't want it in here. So lots of weeds as well. I'll do the weeding in a minute. I'll just ignore them and the stones for a minute. So let me clear this area, quickly weed it, get rid of all of the stones again, and then I'll be back to you in a minute, ready for planting. Okay, so I've cleared the area, got some stones out again, and just generally gave it a quick dig over, and what I've decided is, last time when I planted the pak choi, I forgot that the birds really like them, and within a day the row on that side was almost completely eaten. There was just little stumps left over, not by slugs, because I had the eggshells and I had slug pellets all in here. So I'm pretty sure it wasn't slugs. It was pecks off the leaves. They were literally eating the leaves, and the little stumps remained. So this time when I put them in, I'm going to be putting one of these hoop nets across. I bought 2 of them last year. Let me see, what were they? Kingfisher, grow your own, just grow tunnel. Now it is 45 centimeter wide, 45 centimeter high, and 3 meters long. Now I bought them specifically because each of my beds are 3 meters across. Obviously I'm only going to need half of that, so one edge of it will just be bunched up. So maybe the back end, and I'll keep the straight taut end this side. So I'm going to put them in, and then I will put the net across. Hello everybody, it is after 9 o'clock on a Tuesday evening, and it's very quiet up at the allotment. I love being up here this time of night. After I've fed the kids and they've started the shower process and going to bed and things like that, I sort of wave goodbye to my husband and I say, I'm going up the allotment. And this is for me the best time of the day up here. It's starting to go dark, and in probably another 20-30 minutes it will be dark. But this is the time of night when I get most of my things done. So tonight, although I didn't film it, I thought I would quickly show you what I've done. I potted up all my tomatoes tonight. They sort of got to the point where they weren't growing very much anymore, and I knew that was down to the fact that the pots they were in were too small. So in most instances they were in these little pots. I have no idea what they're supposed to be, maybe a 3-inch pot, that sort of thing. And I have now potted them up into these big pots. They're about, say close to 6-inch pots, maybe a bit bigger in some instances. They're not all the same. A friend of mine gave me 2 great big bags full of pots, so I've just been rummaging through that. So all the tomatoes have now been potted up. There's a big tray of them there. There's quite a few of them down there at the bottom. There's a couple of there, and then those ones are at the top. So so that's what I did today. And then I have got one other little thing that I just want to show you. I've started packing up. I've locked up the shed already. I'm on my way home. Quick look at the sweet peas. I was saying to my husband on the weekend, this is the height the sweet peas got to last year. They didn't grow very well, and these ones are just romping away. We have had about 4 or 5 great big bunches. The stems were like that thick, big bunches of sweet peas that I've picked already, and I need to come and pick again. The trick with sweet peas is the more you pick, the more they'll flower. So I just keep sort of shoving them around so they can start attaching to things. So I just keep pointing them in the right direction, and then they are just taking care of themselves. So I will be picking another bunch of these tomorrow. They make the house smell beautiful. So last thing, as I start moving back up towards the car, I've harvested some strawberries. There's 3 big punnets. They're probably about 700-800 grams each. I weigh the strawberries when I take them home, give them a quick wash, and then I weigh them to keep track of how much or how many strawberries in terms of how much weight I got off the allotment. And those 3 punnets is from this bed, literally from there to just on the other side of this hoop. I haven't done all of that bed or that bed. I have systematically been taking strawberries out, and so far, excluding these 3 punnets here, I'm up to 5.2 kilograms of strawberries so far. I've made 10 jars of jam. I have frozen 2 great big Ziploc bags full of frozen ones already for use during the year for cooking and smoothies and baking and things like that. I have sold 4 400-gram punnets to mums at school, and I've got an order for tomorrow afternoon for 2 more punnets. So I will go and wash them, sort them, sort of grade them. They sort of get the big nice ones, and then all of the rest I chop up and freeze or do something with. But as I say, there are still absolutely hundreds in there, and that's not even talking about the 2 new beds. So they are carrying less this year, just because of the nature of how late I transplanted them, and they're not established that well yet and things like that. but the existing bed is once again outperforming everything else. So last year's tally was 14 kilograms in total. I think I'm easily going to make that this year. So I will keep you updated. So that's it from me for now. I'm going to need both hands to carry these up to the car. So I will see you again tomorrow for some other jobs.